What's up? I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I have now had the free time to do it. So I wanted to make this video about the pros and cons I had on Kong, I can't speak, Kong Skull Island. If you haven't seen the movie, give it a watch. If you like monster action-packed films, it's not a bad one to watch. And also, if you don't like spoilers, recommend not to watch this video because I'm pretty sure I'm going to give some away. I'll try not to, but I can't guarantee anything. So anyways, how about we get started and let's talk about this movie. So first off, I want to talk about the fact that I've seen two different Kong films before this one. And it's really interesting to see different versions of each generation on how King Kong's story is developed. Netflix had the 1976 version of King Kong with Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange. In that movie, it was a different time period, obviously. So it was not what it's like in Peter Jackson's film or what it's like in today in this new version of King Kong. But overall, that movie was pretty interesting in the fact that it had a very overt reference to sexuality in that. Like, Kong was just a little bit of a creeper. And then when you watch Peter Jackson's 2005, it's like a whole different ambiance of it. It's more of like Peter Jackson wants this 3-hour odyssey to be an Oscar winning film. And Peter Jackson's one, it's more of just like, romance between Kong and the girl. And him destroying New York. Kind of like what the 1976 one was like, but it was just very different. It's so interesting to see how each generation has a different take on it and how they create whole different stories off the same thing. It's unbelievable to me. Now, going on to this new generation, this new film, it's actually really different. Basically, the synopsis of Kong Skull Island is a bunch of researchers want to do an expedition on Skull Island for geological purposes. And the story itself takes place in 1973, the aftermath of Vietnam War when the U.S. pulls out of it. There's a lot of political references to the Vietnam War. So basically, these researchers use the military, use like these wingmen to escort them to the island. And when they do that, they drop seismic bombs to get readings of the island. They wake up the creatures that are living on the island, and it all goes to mess. So I have a couple of pros with the film itself. First, I liked that it was action-packed. I'm all about fighting scenes with monsters. It was very intense, very, very violent, made me anxious at times. My second pro was that I really liked the use of the cinematography. I thought that some of their panning shots were done really, really well and smoothly. My third pro was the music. One of my biggest things that I look in any type of film is the musical score. If the musical score does not capture me, I'm sorry, you lose me throughout the film. I have to have music. The music is what intensifies the film for you. It gives you that emotional response that is that cannot be used with words or dialogue, which I really liked. And fourth, my big thing that I liked was that, hey, don't mess with Mother Nature. You mess with Mother Nature, she gonna bite you in the butt. I mean, even in the other films, that is pretty much the message. Don't go looking for stuff if you don't know how to handle it. I mean, for me, that's what I got. Now, my cons are, I think, maybe the similar amount of my pros. One of my biggest cons was the fact that you had a really big, awesome, and famous cast that did not mesh well at all together. You had Tom Hiddleston, you had Brie Larson, John Goodman, Sam Jackson, and John C. Reilly. You also had some really good supporting cast members. I actually have to say that with John C. Reilly and the supporting cast members, they kind of saved the film. But the main ones, like the main stars, they were not good to me. Like, I have never actually seen Brie Larson in any other film, so I had nothing to base off of her. But she was just kind of pointless to me. Like, she just was there. She didn't really have that grand effect. Like you would have thought she would, seeing as the previous films used the woman as the main aspect of the film. They didn't really use her as that. Tom Hiddleston, I don't know. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. He just didn't give his fullest, just like John Goodman. It was like these two people were in a trance. John Goodman was trying to deliver that crazed scientist who really wanted to know, but it didn't seem like he did it. It felt like it was bland. And then Tom Hiddleston was trying to give that explorer, macho, I can do any type of thing vibe that I couldn't get into it. And Sam Jackson, they gave him all the heavy-handed political references and his vendetta against Kong. It was just actually annoying. The one thing I'll give him was that he made a Jurassic Park reference, and I was like, yes. But other than that, they just did not seem to mesh very well. The chemistry was just really lacking, and it just felt really forced throughout most of it. And going into that, it goes into my next con, was that, like, the film didn't really have a steady pace. It was it was just very potent in each scene. You know, it would blast you with this, blast you with that, and then it would randomly go slow and tread carefully, and then it would just go back and throw you in that. Like, it was like whiplash, and I thought that wasn't the right use for it. They could have gradually done stuff, which would have been better, but I guess they were really gung-ho about being an action-packed film that they were going to give you action-pack. And yeah, one of my other ones was just that, they made Kong in this film really humanistic. Like, they didn't make him more of an animal ape-like. They made him godly-like. And I think that was part of the references to the film, was that, like, the people on the island was worshipping him like that. And I can understand why they were going with that, but at the end of the day, Kong is an ape. It would have been nice to just see if he has certain ape-like qualities. But yeah, like I said, it's a decent action monster movie. I did enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie that I had fun with it, and I think that was some of its purposes, is that you can have fun with it. But if it was something that you were gonna take away from it, I don't really think that is your type of film. So if you want to watch it just for the fun and the monsters, I recommend it. If you're looking for a plot or a story, this might not be it. But yeah. Alright guys, that's all I have for you. If you have seen it, let me know what you thought about it. If there's anything that you did like or you didn't like, just let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, I guess I'll see you in my next video.